We're going to start laying on our backs today so that we can wake up our core. So Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees open wide, lying down butterfly. And then you can place your arms anywhere that feels comfortable, maybe on the floor, on your stomach, maybe overhead. I like to have them in a diamond shape. Closing your eyes here, taking a couple deep breaths, and just noticing how your body's feeling at the beginning of our yoga practice. Checking in here. Begin to connect to your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through your nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath, and really stretch the inhales and exhales. Make them a little bit longer so you can use that breath to help you set the pace of the practice. Hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit side to side, maybe draw a couple small circles in one direction, and then a couple circles the other direction, gently massaging the lower back. Opening your arms out like a T, drop both knees to the left and turn your gaze to the right for a gentle spinal twist. Bring it to center, drop your knees to the right side and turn your gaze to the left side. And bring it back to center. Now extend the legs straight up to the ceiling, flex your feet, interlace your fingers behind your head, just loosely. We're gonna start with a double crunch. So as you exhale, lift the shoulder blades, then lift your hips, and then lower down. Exhale, lift the shoulder blades, lift the hips, and lower down. So double crunch, meaning you're working the upper and the lower abs. We're crunching in the upper body and the lower body. Keep going at your own pace. Lift the shoulder blades, lift the hips. Couple more, waking up our core here. Good, one more time. Nice. Now, keeping the hands interlaced behind your head, lift your head and shoulders up, elbows wide. Straight legs, but point your toes this time. We're gonna scissor the legs. Lower your right leg to a hover, or as low as you can without arching your back, and then switch, and switch. Just keep scissoring. Straight legs, toes pointed, hands behind the head to support your head, elbows are wide. Pull that belly button down and try to press your lower back into the mat. Good, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your head down. Place your hands this time right next to your hips, not underneath them, but just right next to them. Straight legs, feet flexed again. Pull that belly button down, pull your stomach in. Now slowly lower the legs as low as you can without arching or straining the lower back, and then lift them up. Start to just go up and down, leg raises, staying connected to the core, not straining your back. Nice and slow, controlled, finding that range of motion that works for you. Good, couple more reps here. Now on the next one, go to your lowest point and just hold it and hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Full body stretch. Reach those arms and legs long. Get as tall as you can. Hug your knees in, rock and roll. Forward and back this time. Maybe like 2 or 3 times. Massage your spine. And then we're going to come all the way up. Plank position. Interlace the fingers. Elbows will be right under the shoulders. And then step your feet back into that forearm plank. Feet hips width. Try to get your hips, shoulders, everything in a nice straight line here. So again, connecting to your core so you don't feel a big arch in your back, just a neutral spine here. Actively push the floor away with your arms. Good, now from here, just float the right foot up a couple inches, not too high, flex the foot and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs, left foot up and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the foot down. Keep holding your plank. I'm going to let someone else into the class. Keep holding your plank. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. First child's pose of the class. Big toes together, knees wide. forehead down. Stretch those arms out in front of you. Reconnect to your breath. So if you lost that Ujjayi breath, reconnect to it, breathing in and out through your nose. Remember, child's pose is your resting pose. If you need to take a break at any point in the class, you can always come back to this pose. Walk your hands to the right side of the mat. Place the left hand on top of the right, so you feel that stretch to the left side of the body. Walk your hand to the left side and put the right hand on top of the left. Now bring it up to your hands and knees to a tabletop position. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back and gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back, really push the floor away. Inhale as you arch, warming up the spine. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. After your last one, find a neutral spine right in the middle, flat back. Extend your right arm forward and your left leg back. Opposite arm and leg. As you exhale, bring your knee and elbow into touch. Inhale to extend and reach. Good. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Now you can hold it here and just balance, or bend your leg, reach your right hand back, and maybe grab that left foot for a little back bend, kicking the foot back. Good, stretch it out, place it down, and switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to elbow. Extend it out, maybe hold it there, or bend your leg, grab your foot, kick it back, find that back bend. Good, stretch it out, place it down. Now we'll come into our first down dog. So plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, feet are hips width, 6 to 8 inches apart, and then move around in that first down dog. Walk it out, bending one leg at a time, stretching your calves, hamstrings, maybe bending one elbow at a time, just kind of noticing how your body feels today. When you're ready to settle in, really shrug those shoulders away from the ears, actively push your chest back towards your thighs, pressing the heels towards the floor. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take a few steps, ragdoll, bend your knees, feet hips width. Grab opposite elbows, let yourself hang forward here. Maybe shaking your head, yes and no, relaxing the neck, swaying side to side if that feels good, or swaying forward and back. And release your arms and roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Good, lift your arms all the way up. Your right hand will grab that left wrist and pull it to the right, so you feel that side body stretch. And then switch. Your left hand grabs your right wrist and pulls it to the left. Good. Back to center. Interlace the fingers behind your back, or you can hold on to a strap. Look up, open your chest. Bend your knees a little bit. Fold forward, keeping the hands interlaced. Release your hands down to the floor. Step back to your plank. First chaturanga, we're going to modify together. So from your plank, put your knees down, hug your elbows in, and slowly lower to the floor. Untuck your toes. Push down into the tops of the feet. Cobra pose. It's just a small back bend, not too much weight in the hands. Then lower down. Push up to your knees to that modified plank. Tuck your toes under, and then come back to your down dog. And reset. Check in. Every time you come into that down dog, check in with your breath. Look at your hands. You can either step or add a little hop to the front, bringing the feet together this time. Inhale, lengthen your spine to a flat back. That could be fingertips on the shins or the floor. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Using your flat back, inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Gaze up. Maybe you bring those palms to touch overhead. And then right from there, exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale to lengthen. Plant your hands as you exhale, step to plank. Now you can stay on your toes or you can go back to your knees. Chaturanga, low push up, bend your elbows and come halfway down. Flip over the feet. Inhale, up dog, or repeat your cobra. If you're an up dog, only your hands and feet touch the floor. Really engage those quads so those kneecaps are off the floor. Then you lift your hips, exhale, down dog. Flip back over your feet. Look at your hands, hop or step, both feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand, gazing up at the palms. Exhale, swan dive right back down. Inhale to lengthen. Now as you exhale, you can either jump or step, chaturanga, from the toes or the knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra, finding your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, exact same thing. Look forward, step or hop, both feet to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, plant the hands, hop or step, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it forward to a low lunge. Put your back knee on the mat. Untuck the back toes. Start with your hands on the right thigh. Just kind of sink into that hip flexor. If you want, lift your arms up. Maybe press the palms together, gaze up, adding a slight back bend. And lower the hands down. Half splits, just half splits, not full splits yet. So straighten that front leg, flex your foot, and fold. Make sure you're not sitting on your back foot. Your hip is directly over that knee. And now let's go back to down dog. Just bend the leg, put your hands down so you can step back and go straight to down dog to reset. And then we'll switch sides. We'll lift the left leg up, step it forward right between your hands, low lunge. Put your right knee down. Make sure your left knee's over that ankle and then start with the hands on the thigh first, sinking into that lunge, stretching the front of that right hip. Maybe lifting the arms or pressing the palms together, gazing up, adding a slight back bend. Lower your hands down to the floor or to blocks, half split. Straighten the front leg, flex the left foot, and then fold, bringing your nose towards the knee or the shin. Rebend that leg, bring your hands to the mat, go straight back to downward facing dog again. Now lift your right leg up. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose or as close as you can get it. And then inhale, lift it right back up to a three-legged dog. Exhale your right knee over to your right tricep. See if you can touch your right arm. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, twist your right knee to your left arm or your elbow. Inhale, lift it up. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Stay on the ball of the back foot as you reach your arms up. High crescent lunge. Hips are square to the front. Back leg is straight, but that heel is off of the ground. Now, as you pivot your back heel to the ground, we'll open to Warrior Two. Virabhadrasana B. Arms out like a T. Your gaze is over that right hand. Flip your right palm up. Put your left hand on your left thigh. Reverse warrior. Reach your right arm back so that you feel that stretch in the right side body. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front and then step back to your chaturanga, low push up from the toes or the knees. Inhale to up dog or to cobra. Exhale, kneading back in your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Exhale your left knee to your nose. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. One more time, exhale, twist your left knee towards your right tricep or elbow. Then inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Start on the ball of the back foot and then reach your arms up. High crescent lunge, hips square, really engage that back leg. Open to warrior two by pivoting your back heel flat on the ground. So your torso and your hips face the side wall, but your gaze is over that left hand. Flip your left palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach backwards, stretch the side body. Exhale, windmill all the way to the front. Step back, chaturanga, any variation. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, bring your knees down for a moment and let's do dolphin pose. So come down to your forearms, grab onto the outside of your triceps, measure it out. Keep your elbows there and then extend the forearms. So your forearms are parallel, palms are flat. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. So dolphin is just like down dog, but with the elbows down. So if you do not want to play with handstand later, remember this pose because you can come back to your dolphin pose if you're not ready to practice handstand later. Now from your dolphin, you can stay where you are or walk your feet together right in the middle and just lift the right leg up nice and high and hold. 5. Keep pushing the floor right, building that strength in your shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Left leg up and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg. Child's pose. Drop your knees down. Reset. Catch your breath here. Come up to tabletop for puppy pose. So your hips will stay up in the air right over those knees, walking the hands forward, trying to bring your chest to the floor. So maybe the forehead touches the ground, or maybe the chin touches the ground, and you melt your chest down, stretching into your shoulders, your lats here. Walk your hands in, and then we'll reset in our downward facing dog. Look forward, step, or you can hop your feet to the outside of your hands. Malasana, prayer squat. Turn your toes out, hands to heart center. So your hands are in prayer. Use your elbows, push the inner thighs apart, press the chest forward, create a little space in your hips. If you want to open the arms, slide your right shoulder inside that right knee, right hand down, left arm up. If you want to add a bind, wrap the left arm behind the back for a half bind, or maybe take that right arm around the outside of the shin and see if you can clasp hands or fingers right by that hip. So you're going on the outside of the shin if you add the bind. Back to center, and then switch. If you open the arms, left shoulder inside that left knee, left hand down, right arm up, or maybe a half bind with the right arm behind the back, or maybe that full bind around the shin. Back to center. Bring your hands to the floor. Bring your feet in hips width as you straighten your legs. So your feet are 6 to 8 inches apart. Padangusthasana. Peace fingers. Make that peace sign. Grab onto your big toes. Inhale to lengthen first. Exhale to fold. Relax your neck. Shoulders away from the ears. Elbows to the side. So if you need to bend the knees to hold the toes, that's okay. Over time, you'll work on straightening the legs here. Now you can stay here a little longer or come into your Bakasana crow pose, regular crow. Plant the hands shoulder width. Walk your feet back a little bit and bring them together. Bend your arms, make a little shelf and put your knees up as high on that shelf as you can. The closer to the armpits, the better. And the bony part of your knee is what's on the tricep. You lean forward, look forward. Don't look at your feet. As your shoulders come more forward, your toes will get lighter. Maybe lifting one or both feet, actively pushing the floor away with the arms. Good, nice you guys. Then you can hop or step back, take a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. So vinyasa just means you take your chaturanga, up dog, down dog, and then you reset in your down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, high crescent lunge. So find your balance here. Focus your gaze, and we're gonna come into airplane, Degasana. Sweep your arms back, palms face the floor. As you float that left leg up, flex the foot. Keep all 5 left toes pointing towards the floor so your hip is square. Standing splits, hands down to the floor or maybe blocks. As your nose comes closer to that right leg, try to lift your left leg up higher without opening the hip. If you want to add on, right hand to the back of that right ankle to pull your nose in closer. Good. Carefully, we're going to come back to airplane. So lower your leg a little bit, come up to the fingertips, put a soft bend in your right leg, and then reach your arms back and try to find your balance again in airplane. Step back, crescent lunge, reset the feet. And if it didn't quite land where you wanted to, just adjust your feet. Open to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Back heel flat, hips open. Flip your right palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, modified or extended side angle. Right elbow to the right thigh, or maybe right hand to the floor or a block on the inside of the foot. You can keep your left arm directly up to the ceiling, but if it feels okay on the shoulder, you might reach your left arm forward, bicep by your ear, palm facing down, extended side angle, Utthita Parsva Konasana. And then if it's okay on the neck, try to look up towards the ceiling to help you rotate open a little bit more. Lift back up, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands to the front and step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up, step it between your hands. Crescent lunge, start on the ball of the back foot. Reaching arms up, hips square, getting your balance here first. Then start to lean forward, airplane, Degasana, sweep the arms back, palms face down. Flex your right foot, and again, keep the hips square. Rotate the toes towards the floor. Standing splits, hands all the way to the floor or maybe blocks. As your nose comes closer to that left leg, you try to lift the right leg higher, keeping the hips square. Maybe the left hand grabs the back of that left ankle. Good. Now come back up to your fingertips. Lower the leg just a little. Put a soft bend in the left leg. A little bend will help you. Focus the gaze. Sweep your arms back. Airplane. Step all the way back. Crescent lunge. And if you didn't land where you wanted to, adjust it so you have a nice long crescent lunge. Open to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Pivot that back heel down. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Exhale, modified or extended side angle. Left elbow to the thigh with the right arm up, or maybe left hand to the floor or block. Maybe reaching that right arm forward if that's okay on the shoulder. Extended side angle, creating that long line from the right hand to the right foot. Lift back up to your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it to the outside of the right hand, lizard pose. Drop the back knee down, and then hands or maybe elbows down, or if you have blocks, you can put your elbows on your blocks. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Let your arms relax and stretch into your hips. Press up to your hands. Just go straight back to down dog. No chaturanga. Reset, downward facing dog. Then we'll switch sides. Lift the left leg up, step it to the outside of the left hand. Put your right knee down, untuck those toes, and then hands, elbows, or maybe blocks on the inside of that left foot for lizard pose, stretching into your left hip. Press back up to your hands and then make your way back to your downward facing dog again. Reset, check in with your down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands, coming back up to crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. High crescent lunge, just for a moment. Open to warrior two, Virabhadrasana B. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, come forward into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Walk your right hand forward, 6 to 8 inches in front of the baby toe. Left hip is open, flex the foot, peel your left arm straight up to the ceiling. If you have a block, you can put that block under the right hand to help you get that right leg straight. Really active flying foot, flex the foot. It's not a standing split, so we're not trying to lift the leg all the way up. We're trying to lift it parallel to the floor, but keep that hip open. Focus your gaze. Take another deep breath. Carefully step back to warrior two. Reset your feet. Straighten out your right leg. Walk your left foot in just 1 or 2 inches shorter than what you had for warrior two. Both legs are straight. Hips go back. Reach forward, triangle pose. Right hand on the shin or the foot. Left arm straight up to the ceiling. So I know you can't see my hand, but ideally you're aiming for a straight line from that top hand to the bottom hand. And if it feels okay on the neck, look up towards the ceiling. But if that bothers your neck, don't do it. Just look to the side or down. Good. Use your core. Lift your torso back up. Come back to warrior two. Walk your back foot out 2 inches and rebend that right leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands to the front and step back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lifting the left leg up, step it between your hands, crescent lunge, starting on the ball of the back foot as you reach the arms up. Open to warrior two, pivoting that back heel down. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Walk your left hand 6 to 8 inches in front of that left baby toe. Open the right hip and flex the foot. Then peel that right arm up. Again, maybe using a block under that left hand. Ideally, both legs are straight. Your left standing toe should still point straight forward. Your right toes are the ones pointing to the side wall to open that hip. Step all the way back, warrior two. Reset, adjust if you need to till you find that nice warrior two position. Straighten your front leg. Bring your right foot in just 1 or 2 inches shorter. Hips go back, reach forward, and then place the hand down for triangle. Trikonasana. Create length in both sides of the waist here. Lift the torso up. We're going to go back to warrior two. Walk your back foot out 2 inches and rebend that front leg. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift the right leg up. Step it between your hands, but come back to that low lunge like we did at the beginning. So we did half splits earlier. We're going to try full splits only because it will help you with your handstands. Because the more open your hamstrings are, the better your standing splits is, the easier it is to lift that leg up for handstands. So hands on the floor, block. You could go back to half splits like we did at the beginning, or start to slide that foot forward. And you might have to hold yourself up with both hands on the blocks or on your fingertips. Just go as far as you can into your full splits. right? You wanna find a spot where you feel a stretch, right? So it might be a little uncomfortable, but that you can still stay in it, okay? Start upright first. If you're all the way on the floor, maybe lift your arms up. Keep those hips square, flex that front foot. Okay, now if your arms are up, put them down, and then fold forward over that front leg, bringing your nose towards the shin or the knee. Now I want you to be conscious of how you come out, okay? Come up to your hands, tuck your back toe under, lift your knee, and then carefully slide that leg back. Open up the hip, bend the leg. Maybe draw a few circles with your ankle, maybe the whole leg. Just make a little space there. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in our down dog. Switching sides, lifting the left leg up, step it between your hands, start with that low lunge. And one side might be different, right? So grab the props, the blocks if you need it, half splits, maybe start to inch it forward a little bit, maybe a lot. See how this side feels. Hip bones square to the front, like headlights on a car. If you don't need the hands, then you can lift your arms up to start. Keep that front foot flexed. Nice. Good, Erica, that's it. Good, now you can put your hands back down, and then wherever you're at, even if you're in the half splits, maybe fold forward, bringing your nose closer to that shin, stretching more into that hamstring. Walk your hands in, tuck your back toe, lift your knee, carefully slide your left leg back, open the hip, bend the leg. Again, maybe move it around, draw a few circles, whatever feels good. And then we'll meet in down dog. And come down to your knees. Now, if you have a wall, take your mats to the wall or the door. We're gonna practice what I call L-shape handstand first. So this is really good if you don't know how to do handstand. This is just like a prep pose, like an exercise to help us get better at actual handstands. If you have a strap, grab your yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, don't worry. Now, if you don't have a wall, you can stay in the middle of the room and practice your dolphin pose. Remember, dolphin was the one we did on the forearms. If you have a wall, you're gonna sit down with your back all the way up against the wall or the door like me. And your legs are out straight, feet are flexed. If you have a strap, I like to just lay the strap down right by the heels there. That just tells me how long my legs are so I know where to put the hands. If you don't have a strap, just put one finger there just to measure it and then swing your legs around. So if you have the strap, your palms will go on top of the strap. Or again, just estimate, but you want your hands where your heels just were. Hands shoulder width distance. Tuck your toes, you come into a little version of down dog, and we're gonna walk the feet up the wall and make an L. So I'm not all the way up here, I'm not in a plank, my back is not arched, I'm hugging my stomach in, I'm really pushing the floor away, it's a lot of work in the arms, and I'm trying to make an L. Your heels should be flat on the door or on the wall. If your heels are lifting, that's usually a sign that you're up too high. Let me look at you guys real quick. Sydney, lower your feet just like 2 inches. Just 2 inches. Yeah, there you go. Good, Kim S. Michaela, I think your hands might be a little too close to the wall. Yeah, there you go. That's good, Michaela, right there. That was good. Melanie, nice. Good, you guys. All right, come down, rest, right? You don't have to hold it forever. Like shake out your arms. Good, Nathan. Now we're gonna do the same thing one more time, but this time you can lift one leg up if you want, okay? Or you can repeat what you just did, okay? So let's set it up the same. Hands in the same spot, but then if you feel comfortable here, you lift one leg up without arching your back, hugging the stomach in, reach through the toes, strong straight leg, count to 5 in your head, and then switch legs and count to 5. And once you've done both sides about the same amount of time, you can come down into your child's pose and let your arms rest, because it is a lot of work on the arms. But honestly, this is harder than actually doing the handstand. But that's why this is a good prep pose to build that strength in your upper body. Good. When you're ready, child's pose. And then I'll show you guys how to do the actual handstand. So now we'll turn around and face the wall so that the wall can help catch you. If you're comfortable doing handstand in the middle of the room, by all means, you can practice in the middle of the room. Just be careful at home. Sometimes it's hard because you don't have a lot of space. And if you accidentally fall, it's not that big of a deal, except that you might hit something. That's the worst part about doing it at home. When you fall in the yoga studio, there's plenty of space. But if you fall at home, like I've got weights and lamps and books and you don't want to stub your toes on something. So I like to do it at the wall for when we're at home. So I'm facing the wall. My hands are shoulder width, just like they were when I was in that L. I'm going to come into standing split. So the closer I can get my feet to my hands, the less distance my leg has to travel. That's why I want to have a good standing splits, a good hamstring opening. Okay, so my hands are shoulder width. I spread the fingers. I lift my favorite leg up. My heel is off of the ground. Okay, the leg that's up in the air is the one that's going to touch the wall first. I bend my leg that's on the ground and I push off just that one foot to kick my other leg up to the wall. So I get one foot, then the other foot up to the wall. And then you can practice taking your feet away from the wall. What I don't want to see is don't drop this leg and swing it. You don't need that momentum. Push off the foot that's on the floor. Keep this leg high, and then you should hit one foot first, then the other foot. Then as you get more comfortable, you can come further and further away from the wall so that over time, you don't need the wall anymore. So let me watch you guys. If you don't feel comfortable doing that yet, go back to the L shape. Practice the L shape one more time because that's, again, very good to build that strength for your handstand. If you're doing handstand, gaze at the floor right between your hands. Don't look at your feet. It's kind of like crow. If you look at your feet, you actually make it harder. If you look at the floor between your hands, it'll be easier to balance. And the closer you are to the wall at first, the better, right? And then as you get stronger, you can back the hands away. So the foot that's on the floor, lift your heel off the ground and bend it and jump off the foot that's on the floor. Yes, big jump. There you go, Michaela. That was it. Good. And if your arms get tired, shake them out, right? If you're not sure which leg you like to jump off of, try them both. You'll probably figure out pretty quickly which leg feels more natural to push off of. Bigger jump, Melanie. There you go, almost. Good, Melissa. Sydney, almost. Nice, you guys. This is one of those poses, remember, it might take years. Today, we're just introducing it. Some of you have done this before, some of you haven't. It's a mixed level class, so you play with where you're at. Nice, Nathan, really good. Let's take one more try. Everyone give me one more good solid attempt, either L-shaped handstand or regular handstand. And then when you've had enough, we'll come back to the middle of the room and we'll come back to our child's pose. This time when you come into your child's pose, bring your knees all the way together, bring your forehead down, and then take your arms alongside you so you can really let your shoulders relax. If you just did a lot on the arms, let your shoulders round forward, let your back round, and just take a couple deep breaths here, resetting in your child's pose. And when you're ready, we'll start to meet in downward facing dog. Coming back to our down dog. Step your feet to the front of the mat. Roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Bring your hands to prayer, standing number 4. You take your right foot across your left thigh. Flex the foot, make that figure 4 shape, then bend your left leg. Focus the gaze and start to sit your hips back like you're sitting into a little chair, working the elbows towards the shin. So right here, you really have to focus the gaze to help you to balance. You might get your hands to the floor. That actually makes the balance easier, but you'll get a deeper stretch in the hip. Keep bending that left standing leg a lot. If you know the arm balance from here, flying pigeon, you're more than welcome to add in the arm balance or grasshopper, but we didn't do any twisting today, but feel free to add those in on your own. Good, come up, shake it out, switch legs. Hands to prayer. Left foot across, make a number 4. Bend your right leg, take your time. Focus the gaze as you work on the balance, working the elbows towards the shin, maybe fingertips or hands to the floor or blocks, or maybe arm balances if you added those in on the other side. Always try to even it out, do what you did on the first side. Good, come up, shake it out. Meet at the top of your mat, feet together, hands to prayer. Stand up tall, take a deep breath here in your mountain pose, resetting. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step to plank and stay in your plank. Good, just slowly come to the floor. Bend your elbows, take your time, lower in one piece to the floor. Nice. Bring your forehead down. Bring your hands by your side like airplane arms. Your palms are pressing into the floor. Zip your legs up and then lift up for locust pose. For a variation on our locust pose. Lift the chest, lift the legs, lift the hands. Keep your gaze down so the neck is long. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let one ear come to the mat. Let everything relax. Good, bring your forehead back down. Now you can choose to repeat that or interlace the hands for a different variation. So you interlace the hands behind your lower back, and then you lift everything back up. And you're trying to lift the hands away from your tailbone. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, bring one ear down, let your arms relax. Now just one more back bend. You can repeat one of those 2 or come into bow pose, Dhanurasana. Bend your legs, reach around, go for the outside of your ankles. Knees are gonna be about hips width distance apart. Flex your feet and then kick through your shins. Sometimes it helps to just give a little rock forward and back, but most of the action really comes from the legs. Kick strongly back through the legs. Hold, last 5, breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, one ear down. Let go of your feet, but keep your legs bent. Windshield wiper your shins side to side. Just let them swing from one side to the other. And press back, child's pose. Reset your spine. Take a few deep breaths here in your child's pose. And coming into your downward facing dog, we're going to set up for half pigeon. If pigeon bothers your knee or you need to modify for any reason today, you can lay on your back for a lying down number 4 stretch instead. Otherwise, from your down dog, lift your right leg up, bend the knees, you bring it forward for half pigeon. Put your right knee behind the right wrist. Really slide that left leg back. So just like you did in the splits, try to get that leg as far back as you can, but hips square to the front. Now your knee is directly in line with the hip, not the belly button, not the outside of your mat, in line with your hip. If your hips are on the floor and square and you have no pain in your knee, you can start to inch your shin a little bit more forward. Maybe at most, your shin will go parallel to the front, creating a 90-degree angle, and that foot has to be flexed to help keep that knee protected. If that doesn't feel good, bring your foot back in closer to you. And then you fold forward, whichever version you've got. Or you're on your back with that lying down number 4 stretch if you prefer that. Walking your hands in, We'll go back to a three-legged dog. You can lift that right leg up, open the hip, bend the leg. Again, feel free to move it around, anything that feels good to help you to reset. And then we'll meet in our down dog. Switching sides, lifting the left leg up, bringing that knee forward for pigeon. If you're on your back, switching sides for that number 4 stretch. But if you're in pigeon, again, knee in line with the hip. Not in the middle, not to the side. Knee directly in line. If you draw a line, it should be a straight line. And then this foot, you might adjust, right? You can have it close to you. You can have it a couple inches out. You can have that 90-degree angle if you want, flexing the foot with that shin parallel to the front. But make sure your hips are square. Don't lean off to the side. Hips square to the front, and then you fold forward once you've got it set up. Forehead down to the floor or block, or maybe your fist, just so you can relax your neck. Walk your hands in. Last down dog. So shake it out, bring that left leg back to a three-legged dog, and then you'll just meet in your last down dog and notice how it feels compared to the beginning of the practice. Press the weight into the heels, check in with the backs of the legs. And we'll have a seat at the front. Step to the front, have a seat. Both legs straight out in front of you. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Sit up tall, flex the feet, lengthen the arms up, and then fold. If you can't reach, you can use that strap around the feet, or you can just grab your legs or your feet. If you can reach past your feet, you might grab your own wrist. And then drop your head, relax your neck, get that stretch through the backs of the legs, as well as the lower back. Slowly come up, and then roll all the way down onto your back. Bend your knees, bring your feet on the floor. Open your arms like a T. Cross your right knee over your left. Move your hips an inch or two to the right, and then drop your knees to the left with the legs crossed like that. Then turn your gaze to the right. Now, if it doesn't feel good, you can always go back to that spinal twist we did at the very beginning of class where we didn't cross the legs. The crossing leg just gives you a deeper stretch into the hip and the lower back. Bring your legs through center. Switch the cross of the legs. So now the left leg crosses on top. Move your hips an inch or two to the left. Drop your knees towards the right side, and then turn your gaze to the left, or maybe close the eyes. Bring everything back to center, uncross the legs, wrap your arms around your shins and curl up into a tight ball. Just give yourself a big hug, bringing your forehead up to your knees, and then let everything go. Coming into our Shavasana, final relaxation. Extending the legs out long, let the feet fall open wide. Arms relax alongside you, palms facing up. And then take those shoulders, shrug them away from the ears to help keep the neck long. As you close your eyes, clear away your thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go and letting the muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Starting to bring some small movements back to your body. Maybe drawing a couple circles with your wrists and ankles, letting them move in both directions. Maybe gently moving your head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. And then when you feel ready, reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long, create a nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can there. Keep the eyes closed, hug your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position. And use your hands to help press you all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Crossing the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Hands coming together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And taking a couple last deep breaths here. Scanning your body, noticing how it feels after today's yoga practice. And take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bow forward. Namaste.